which we should not be having at this material time. Madam Speaker, I have been lucky to have been in this parliament for quite some time. I am lucky that in 2018, we worked day and night to amend the Constitution of Kenya to share power. We shouldn't ask ourselves, why did we do it that way? Are we getting ourselves back to 2018 that now we have to amend the Constitution to create positions of power for individuals, Mr. Speaker, Madam Speaker? I am repeating this time, Madam Speaker, because in the whole proposed constitutional amendment, and I want to tell the country, the problem of this country is not about who is president, who is what, and it doesn't matter how many positions you want to create. We must be in a position to agree that in any election contest, there will always be a winner, there will always be a loser. And whenever somebody goes in an election and he loses elections and accepts the results of an election, you can never have people fighting. You always go back again and say, next time elections will come within 5 years, I am ready. Madam Speaker, the Constitution, this Constitution here, I had the opportunity and to debate, propose amendments to it. The bar or the threshold for making an amendment from what had come from Naivasha was, I think, 75%. And that is why we never amended it that time, because we could not erase the numbers that time. But Madam Speaker, if I remember what happened that time, because the issues of the opposition, creation of the opposition, Linda, creation of positions of influence so that somebody can come and mobilize his team within parliament, because we felt it was very unfair to leave a presidential candidate out of politics, is something that was strenuously opposed before we even got to where the draft was done, because some members of parliament thought that time, some of us and ideas or no, we thought it would be the president or whoever it is. So when we are thinking about amending a constitution or making a constitution, it must be done for posterity. It must be done with bearing in mind that the document of what we need to do is for the good of the people and not a few individuals, Madam Speaker. It pains me when I realize, Madam Speaker, the kind of gain, the kind of freedom that was secured through this enactment of this constitution continually and gets eroded because by the failure of the system to implement the constitution and to behave in a manner as if they will be permanently or Kenya, or as if Kenya will be a country that will never have any change in leadership. Politics are dynamic, Madam Speaker. Let us reason. Let us see what we can do. And the people out there, this document is coming to you. This is not your document. This is a document of a few people. We are only lying to ourselves because we have all decided to become subject to their ideas, to their minds. We are captives. Parliament is captured. They are now getting to the judiciary. They want to capture the judiciary, Madam Speaker. And unless the public stands out to seriously defend this position, because we've been lied to. This is a popular initiative when it is not. The people knew if Parliament, if the executive wants to make change in the law, they would have applied to Article 256. We would have gone there. They would have come here, we would have debated, we would have made amendments, we would have really participated in it. But when you find people running away from the provisions of Article 109, where legislation is done through bills, and bills are sent by the president to become law, and the ones now to run away out of that provision and then tell us, here is a bill, you can only talk, you can only do ABCD, you can't amend a comma, you can't do anything. This is serious dictatorship. We must free this country. And by freeing this country, it's for us to rise up and say, yes, the bill is here, then let's go back to the people, let's campaign against it. That's how we can really secure this country. Madam Speaker, I have looked at Article 89, where we are getting the power to create constituencies from the IMBC. Yeah, this document is meant to ensure fairness, equity, and because that's the foundation, the cornerstone of our Constitution and Article 10. Madam Speaker, what equity are we discussing? What fairness are we talking about? When, for example, if you are to apply the formula provided for by the Constitution, the county of Meru, which I represent personally, by application of a formula, Meru would have gotten an extra constituency. It would be foolish of me to sit here and start talking about supporting a bill which in itself continues to perpetuate an inequality and fairness to the people of Meru. Yet, when you have people talking about sharing of CNDF is through constituencies, we'll be losing one constituency. Why can't we agree? Yes. Each one of us must stick on his lane. If it's about proposal to create constituencies, let us say we are proposing to create 70. But leave the matter to IMBC. How do you want me to sit here to participate in changes and judges who are supposed to act independently and decide the matters on merit? Madam Speaker, any institution or the executive is so greedy for power to the extent that they want to extend their tentacles in Parliament to the judiciary and everything else. We must tell them no. This has come to a stop. This executive greed for power will endeavor everyone. Madam Speaker, many members have spoken, but many members have never been a victim of state conspiracy. And the only way to be sure you are safe is not when you enjoy some small favor or small kind of power because you are leader of majority, you are whip, or whoever it is. You are better off with a strong institution like the judiciary. You are better off with a good constitution and good law, because when your worst enemy will be applying the law on you, you will be safe, you will have somewhere to run to for interest. Madam Speaker, as I conclude, let me say this. Time has come when we must start thinking on how we can ensure elections are done in a manner that results are acceptable, and people must be told and must confess that when we lose elections, we accept. Otherwise, this ping-pong game here is not about anything else. It's how we can be able to craft and document that to favor other people, to get in power without necessarily getting or drawing power from the people themselves. Let's remember, power must come from the people. It doesn't come from us changing the Constitution. When we decided it is this one, let's try to implement it to the best extent possible so that Kenyans are able to get the full benefit of the Constitution that we have. Because this one has been praised, Madam Speaker, is the most progressive Constitution in the world. So we must be happy, we must be proud about it. And if we do not, then we have a serious problem. The patchworks being introduced in the Constitution through these amendments will leave this Katiba, this Constitution, in a manner that you'll not even be sure which was the original form, which was the Constitution. I have never, if my plain reading or understanding of an amendment, what an amendment is, I don't think was meant to do an overhaul, to replace, or to repeal a document like this one. So, Madam Speaker, I want to invite other members who have a similar view, who have a similar mind, and who feel patriotic enough that when we retreat back to our counties, when we go back to our individual homes, and because there is nobody anywhere in Kenya who I heard or was told proposed for creation of members or other constituencies or increase of members of parliament to 360 or 500. These people are not telling us the costs of that increase. This chamber will require to be increased. The size of the National Assembly, the Senate, all the other goodies that come out with the office of a member of parliament is an extra cost. We don't need it. How I wish that there was a proposal to reduce the number of constituencies, work out within the 290, right? Ensure that the numbers.
Senator, your time is up. Thank you for your contribution. Senator Kilonzo Junior Mutula.